Good morning. It actually is July 11th now. I was up much of the night, so my concept of time is a little today. I need a sensory deprivation tank. I mean, not seriously. I'm not going to save up for this. And could a normal person even? I guess you could, right? They still exist. The reason why is last night. I should explain a bit better. Being on the spectrum means, of course, that when one gets too overwhelmed, meltdowns, going nonverbal, bad things can happen, and they have in my past, and I've done a lot of work on all that. I don't tend to have meltdowns anymore, although you could probably speak to people in my life and they would be able to say, well, actually but I'm working on it because I can tell when they're happening, when they're going to happen. Obviously, there's stages. There's being overwhelmed. There's, like it's getting to be the point where I can't turn back. Okay, meltdown's gonna happen. Okay, catatonia. Okay, tantrum. It's like, and I can stop it, before it gets to this terminal stage where I can't turn back, of course. But in order to do that, I need to not communicate with other people. I need to pull back and cocoon. I just ate, and my liver makes me burp a lot when I eat. I don't know why. It's something that apparently happens to people. It happens to me a lot. But, yeah. So last night was that night where I did not want to speak. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to be in a sensory deprivation tank. I just wanted to be floating in the darkness. That was how I would feel better. I don't have that, so for me, that is having my lights off, maybe listening to music, which again, not really sensory deprivation, is it? Because I'm listening, but just in my bed, nothing going on, fans off, just alone. And I have to let my mind just sink down and do what it's going to do. It needs to process, it needs to go through all these things. It needs to go through my dad's death, it needs to go through my being sick still, my new numbers, my doctor's on leave, again, another doctor, I have to get a new PCP, my gastro left, I have a new gastro, it's all these things are just very little things, not important, not big, but they're piling on me, and every tiny little thing is just another little burden. So in order to be able to fully process this and be able to move on today and tomorrow and every other day normally and not be stuck behind all this stuff, I have to take time out to process it. And that will be that way for the rest of my life, however the process works, because I can change it. I'm trying to hack my brain now. So it's important to me that I don't spend so much time online when I'm like that. I don't go on Twitter, I don't go on Reddit, I don't go on YouTube. If I go on YouTube, I'll watch something like Prisoner of Cell Block H rather than like Douglas Murray, just off the top of my head. Not saying that, that he's a very controversial figure, not saying whether or not I agree with him, but I just need, or 30 Rock or Cheers. I need something innocuous. It doesn't have to be, brainless. But no politics, no real life, no people, no. And it worked out for me last night. I felt better. I went to bed really early. I think I was in bed in the 7 o'clock hour, which is probably why I was up so early, which is fine. I still got plenty of sleep. But for now, I'm emerging from needing to cocoon a little bit. It doesn't mean that I have fully dealt with everything, because how do you deal with your father dying in a day or two? You don't. It's stages. And I'm dealing with what is coming up right now. I'm not borrowing from the future. When it comes up, I'll deal with it, because this is starting to pass away and I'm starting to feel more normal as we move into the weekend, which is great. Then I'll have the weekend to like sort of fully recover, and by Monday I expect to be fully myself again. I mean, I may not. This is new for me to just like stay away from the internet because I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's too distracting, and it prolongs the process. That's why I think last night it was just one night, and it may not be done. I may be like fooling myself and just wanting to be done faster. But I feel normal. I feel a little bit like worn out, and I usually feel that way after a cocooning session or a meltdown. Although I did not melt down this time. I did go nonverbal for a while. I just read my book and just, you know. And then when I started feeling better, I put the book away and started interacting again a little bit. It's important to me when things are this tough, you know, when I'm going through the first illness I've ever had, and it's a major one, when I'm going through losing my first parent, when I'm going through, you know, worrying about financial issues, worrying about if I'll be able to stay in this apartment for very much longer, worrying about my mom, worrying about just everything. And it's never going to go away, but I have to take care of my state of mind at every step, because no one else can or will, you know. And so it's I know I'm in my 40s, and it's getting close, you know. In October I'll be 47. That's late 40s. You know, maybe these are things that I should have known already, but I'm a late bloomer. You know, being on the spectrum will do that to you. So, but that being said, I think if I did actually have access to a real sensory deprivation tank, and again, it's not worth my money. If I had millions, yes, I would get one, but if I had access to it, I think that it would work a lot quicker for me, because I could just go in it for, I don't know, like an hour or two, and just, I think that would be enough. I think that it took all night because I didn't have the sort of cutoff. I was still in the world, still talking to people. People were still asking me questions. My roommate was still talking to me, still needed things, still wanted to know about dinner. You know, just real world things. And I'm not saying like I shouldn't have to deal with those. Of course I should. I do. But it would be nice to have that cutoff from the world. Anyway, I hope that made sense. The point is, it's been rough, and I am on the recovery now. It's not the end of everything, but it's the end of right now. If I can just deal with things on a normal level, I'm fine. Alright, well, if it didn't make sense, maybe the workings of our minds are not supposed to necessarily make sense to everybody else. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.